Oh, welcome back, my cannonballs. We're back for a short, quick second, and on this one, we're just gonna be talking about some random topics, some things that I was seeing in the news. Um, Number one, I know this may be maybe a week or two old now. Maybe well, yeah, it is. People was, not. I would say, certain people wasn't sad about the Queen dying, which is understandable. And I would say this on that topic of her passing. Although us black folks, we don't really too much, I would say, care about it. But I would say, hey, that is that's still someone's grandmother, and she had a family. So I'm not trying to be empathetic about it. I mean, well, is that the right word to use? Insensitive about it. Yeah, that's what it is. And I don't want to be insensitive about it, but whatever her peoples did, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, I wouldn't say it was. A reflection on her. She hadn't had any control over that. That was just, I would say, her people. Her relatives. But I don't think she should be held accountable for what they did. Cause that's like me holding the. That's like me. I would say that's like me holding the account. That's like me trying to hold my parents accountable for what they did in their past. That they got me like the way I am, and I can't because I'm not them, you know. And whatever they did in the past it's not a reflection on me because at the same time, I'm still a young man. I still can make the right decisions. I don't have to make these awful poor decisions. You know what I'm saying? I don't, and that's just how I feel on that. I really feel like we should really just, hey, it is what it is. I put it like that. Hey, you can either accept it or you don't. Me personally, I didn't really too much understand all that queen and king stuff over the in the United Kingdom. You know, all this bowing down and like I just don't really too much care for all of that. I just feel like we should, only person that we should be bound down to is the Lord the Lord most high. All that giving people those type of titles to me is just a little bit. It's a stretch. It's a stretch, but that's their culture, that's their thing. That's not really my thing. So I can understand why people may feel certain type of ways, but I just wouldn't put it all on the queen because people was murdered and raped and probably sold into slavery. Doing some type of slavery type of work. Just a lot of bad things happen, and I really wish. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that those things did happen. But you know like the old saying goes, every dog will have their day. And whatever has happened, if she had a hand in it, that's a judgment between her and God. You know, we can't judge her. Only God can, only God can. And I hope she didn't suffer because, when people are sick and old like that, 9 times out of 10, they are in a lot of pain because I have dealt with people that was up in age and their body and their health where their health was declining and their bodies, wasn't in the best shape. So therefore, they was limited to certain things that they could do, and yeah, that was something hard to see a person go through. Especially when you giving them pain pills and it's not working for them, and they still have to go back and forth to the hospital after they just got out the hospital. So yeah, that's a lot. But I hope that woman didn't have to go through too much pain. I'm sure she is on the other side. Like the old saying, like well, not the old saying, but like the word says, when the soul is absent from the body, these souls that lies within this shell of ours will be with the Lord once we leave this body. So, ain't no need to worry, ain't no need to crying. Just know you will be with the Lord. Okay, you will be with the Lord. And I'm gonna get off of that topic. On to the next topic. Okay, another topic that I wanted to talk about real short, because I'm not going to stay on this one too long, was Bishop Whitehead. Bishop Whitehead, to me, is not a good representation of a man of the cloth. he comes off as like he seems that he wants to be in the spotlight a lot. He wants the numbers and the attention. And it's like you're talking about everything else but the word of God to me in my eyes. You got these platforms. You can be preaching instead of going back and forth with bloggers. You know what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong. I understand that you have to clear your name. But after you done cleared your name, you don't have to keep on coming back and back and back. I mean, you still have yet to say anything about that woman that said she gave you some monies and you never, nothing never, ever came really back her way for something different. I forgot what it was, but you don't, let's talk about more of that. Well, really not that, but let's talk about more of the Bible and other things outside of that. Because it's coming off as you just like everyone else that comes into this whole field of ministry, looking for the quickest, the quickest coin, and showing off. I mean, from what I've seen from your church, the church is not up to, well, maybe it shouldn't. That doesn't matter. But at the same time, you're riding around in these nice cars. You say you got a mansion, but your ministry is looking like it's looking. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Instead of having wedding reception chairs, you should have some pews up in there, Mr. Millionaire, Mr. Man with all the money. What's going on there? See, now I'm seeing it's false advertisement to me. I want to give you some words of encouragement, and then try to add the word in there. Like it's like you really are talking about something, but you're really not. You're just only giving your opinion and adding a few scriptures to your opinion. Okay, I'm not here for it. And I would be a fool to even try to be in attendance in your church. And I see why, and it's then, you know what, the situation that he's going through right now, it's a reason. It's I would say for certain individuals, not for me, but it's a reason why certain people don't go to church because of people like him. Now granted, you should not let people. Well, really, you shouldn't let someone behind the pulpit stop you from entering the house of the Lord. But at the same time, you gotta go, Archer. You gotta protect yourself. So I understand, but in his case, it's becoming like a show for me. It's a show. We're not even talking about what you are ministering about, or what you have done in your community. We're talking about your actions and how you are coming off to everybody in the world, Mr. Flashy Man. I gotta have the tailors and the latest designer. Like, come on now. That doesn't mean anything. And that's one thing that's the one thing I don't get about people right now in today's time. We gotta go out here and try to spend our last dime trying to mix and match things just so we can get a compliment or just to say we looking like somebody. Like, do you realize that 9 times out of 10, ain't nobody really messed up about what the hell you got on. It's all about what you got in it's all about what you got going on in your brain. Forget an outfit. Forget that. That can come and go. Forget what type of shoes you have on. That's another one too. So there's a lot of people that love these labels. I don't know. I can care less. I can care less about a label. Don't get me wrong. I make sure I look decent when I come outside, when I'm going somewhere. But I can give a damn trying to out here people pleasing. That's what it really is. People pleasing. Trying to please every individual out here. Ooh, look at me. Look what I got on. Give me a compliment. Once upon a time, when I used to be like that a long time ago, just wanting to, be looking like I'm just the best thing and fresh thing since sliced bread. But at the same time, I had to get out of that mindset and be like, Negro, you are just like everybody else out here. Don't try to get the big head like you just Mr. Big Stuff. And I had to, I had to check myself on that. I had to really check myself. Like, you are taking this whole mixing and matching and you're putting things together, and you just the best at it. Like, it's a little bit too seriously, And I had to get out of that mindset. Like, for real. For real, for real. It's like I see it all the time. Everybody's always looking the same, from the girls to the boys. You know, from the girls to the boys. You know, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how people can be so wrapped up into all of these, you know, these super these well, I can't even think of the word, but these designers. I put these designer things. You know, it's just I just can't be wrapped up like that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. It doesn't impress me. You know, I'm a lot of things that a lot of things that I see right now in the world. It doesn't impress me. It doesn't get aroused out of me. I'm just like, okay, wow. You know, and I hope that I don't come off as jealous, but it's the truth. It's just not. I'm not. You know, I'm not fazed by it. You know, it is what it is. But I hope the brother gets some help, mentally and physically and spiritually, because the way he's coming off is it's very conding to me. It's a very con man to me. And the way that he did that woman, he didn't have to do all that. He should put his hands on the man. You know, let the women of the ministries handle her. But you wanna or get her by the grab her, get her by the neck and get her all the way back to the door. Wow, that was just something. Putting your hands on a woman, you should have been putting your hands on a man. Probably a little bit too scared for that. I'm just saying, but we gonna get off of that. I mean, we gonna go on to the next topic. This probably will be the last topic. All right. Well, I was trying to think of a topic, but unfortunately, I couldn't think of one. But I'm gonna think about something that I was thinking about earlier this morning when I woke up. So lately, I've been seeing, people post. It seemed like a bunch of depression stuff and they asking for help and help by mentally help, not physically help. Um, I feel like a lot of times people need to just tune in, tune into their faith a lot more than they tune in to other things. You know, I would say worldly things. You know, because when you shut God out, it's like you never know what you are up against. But then you want to run back to God when something happens to you. That's why I feel like as people we need to have a closer and better relationship with Christ and His Father. Because you just never know. You just never know when the enemy is going to be out there and you need something. You may need some protection. You may need some protection, quick, fast, in a hurry, and to be, kind of, a little bit of, well, really not a little bit, but to be away from the body of Christ. I would say it's the wrong road to be on. It's the wrong road to be on, and you will be out here looking very, very, lost and wondering why certain things are happening. And I feel like we all should just work on our relationship, And I'm not saying that things are not going to happen, but sometimes when they do happen, we don't need to call on other people to try to help us. We need to call on the Lord, Because I feel like we give everything else time. We give everything else our attention. But do we give God, do we give Jesus Christ the amount of time that we give everything else? Do we really have that? Do we really have that much time to give Him? And I'm speaking for myself too. Like can we really give Him the same amount of time that we enjoy looking at other stuff, at foolishness? Can we give that same type of energy, that same type of time to Him? Because I feel like that's very important. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. And I feel like once you start making making more time for Him, you will see things, I would say, in your life change. It's not going to change tomorrow. It's not going to change the next few hours, but you will see some type of progress. You will see it. You will see it. And I know it's gonna be days where it's not gonna be so good, but at the same time, you cannot, fold. You have to continue to call on Him and talk to Him. Because a storm doesn't last always. You know, a storm doesn't last always. At the end of the day, the sun will still come right on back out. It will come right back on out. What you went through a few years ago, probably not going through it right now. But what you went through last week, you're probably not going through it today. you know. So think about it. Continue to call on whoever you believe in. Whoever you believe in. And have that personal relationship with them. But at the same time, you gotta do some work yourself. You gotta do some work yourself, and you gotta change some things about yourself. If you really want it, if you really want that change, if you really want to see something prosper for you, you gotta really make that change for yourself. Because don't nobody force anybody out here to sin. Nobody. We make our own decisions. We make our own choices to do the opposite of what God wants us to do. So think about it. Think about it. Think about that relationship. Think about talking to Him. Confessing the things that you want. But you got to do the works. You got to make some changes within yourself. Because God is not going to bless, no mess. And that's it, you guys. We're out of here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to try to enjoy mine. I think I may cook something, or may not. I just may eat something, whatever's in the refrigerator. But on that note, you guys, I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will be back whenever I come back. All right. See you later, cannibals.